if it goes on there that tight, it just picks the hole.
Hi, and welcome to Yeti at Large. This is a channel focused on making the most out of what you have, no matter where you're at. Thanks for tuning in and helping out.
So here at the lovely pile of sticks, we just got finished raking pine needles for the year. 2,200 pounds according to the green waste transfer site when I drove across the scales. And it's not always that big of a project, so a lot of times we need a trash can with a good liner to put stuff in for yard waste and fireplace ashes. A metal trash can for the fireplace ashes with a good snug fitting lid works very well. I got tired of schlepping this trash can all around. Hi, right on cue. Yes, right on cue. You're a good girl, Agnes. You're a good girl, but you're not putting your best side to the camera. It's right behind you. It's right behind you. Oh, you're a good girl. So, I figured out, let's make our trash can mobile. Now, we got this old used keg hand truck, and you can always tell that the hand trucks that were designed for bar use are much smaller. They have a short lip and a curved backside. Other hand trucks are going to be straight across that are designed for cargo and boxes and stuff like that. And I've got this old metal trash can. The two things that this trash can and this hand truck have in common, you can't see because the label's completely worn out, but these are both made in America. And as such, I want to put them to good use. It'd be easy to overlook either one of these items, a rusty old busted hand truck with no wheels, and an old boring metal trash can with a poorly fitting lid. But since these are Americans, and like all Americans, they do their best when they're united and working together with their countrymen. So let's figure out how to join them up. And we're going to use the old stick too. One of the key things of this project is we want to dig through and just use what we have. I found these old carriage bolts. They don't all quite match up with some fender washers. And here at the pile, not everything goes in old toolboxes. We also use these bucket wraps all the time too. These are super useful. Standoff is about what I need. Maybe not a 12. Anytime you're dealing with a corded appliance or tool, I tend to always put a knot in the cord just to hold it together. And now a safety message with these angle grinders. This thing is dangerous. You side load this thing and it'll explode on you in the blink of an eye. Ask me how I know. I never work where I'm outside of this limited shield. Notice I'm wearing long sleeves, gloves, I have on eye protection, and please, hearing damage is cumulative. I have severe tinnitus in my ears right now, and it sounds to me like I'm on a jet plane 24 hours a day. So I never use a prolonged exposure to a tool or a very high-pitched sharp noise where I don't wear hearing protection. So I went through everything I had looking for the perfect washer for this. I broke 4 drill bits trying to drill through that, so I'm guessing this is pretty hardened steel. So we're going to go with option B. We're going to put a spacer and a hose clamp on that so that the wheel has enough gap here. And I dug through everything I had looking for the perfect washer or spacer, and it turns out it was the box of old combo wrenches I have. A number 12 fits perfectly. So the first thing that happened is the lid was stuck on so tight I went to rip on it, pulled the handle clean off the little spot welds. So staying true to our plan and digging through the spare nuts and bolts, I found these two. They're both black, both have washers. So at least they match on the outside. One has a silver nut. But now I've got a good strong handle on here. If it goes on there that tight, it just picks the hole. So if you live anywhere where there's a severe wildfire threat, you're familiar with the term fuels management, wildfire fuels management. They rate a lot of these fuels by time, how long they'll burn. And they try to avoid the ladder effect, basically fire working its way from the ground into the treetops. Crown fires are devastating. Many wildfires can be very healthy, but it's a fine line between the two. Our local fuels management crew gives us these see-through bags. I believe they're compostable, but I could be wrong on that. And they will come around and pick up the pine needles. Now, like we said earlier, we hold off 2,200 pounds of pine needles off this property, but there's still some touch-up work to be done. And so based on that, this makes a phenomenal receptacle because I can pack the pine needles tight in here without tearing the bag or putting undue pressure on it. And if I'm not storing hot ash, which I would just use a straight metal can, there's nothing on here that the heat can come in contact with. Those plastic wheels won't combust. And I wouldn't take the hot ash straight from the fireplace. I have a smaller can for that. I'd probably let it sit overnight in that or a day or two, and then I would transfer it to this. Never take chances with the hot ash. I can't tell you how many home fires I responded to where people put it in a plastic bucket on the patio and the house burned down, or at least most of the front porch by the time fire got there. There you go. A couple of old, overlooked implements given new life. And I meant what I said about Americans working better together. So after we got done and I was ready to test drive this, I made one more modification. I realized I had nowhere to put the lid when I was using it. I found this hook in a package that I had, and keeping with my earlier theme, I saw on the package it was made in Bangladesh. Well, we all got here one way or another. Welcome to America, little buddy. Make yourself right at home.